I'm just glad that it worked, and I'm so excited that we are back for another fantastic episode with Jordan Benn. It's Team Tuesday. What, Bella? Can you hear us? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Something happened.
We can hear you. All right, so welcome everybody to Slice of Pie Team Thursday, and we're so excited to have Jordan returning. When we were trying to plan out this episode, it was perfect timing. I know we're supposed to do this a little bit earlier. I do confess I am recovering from the vid. Okay, I'm recovering from the vid, and we did have to reschedule, but this was just the perfect timing to have you come on. As I was saying, as I'm because of other things that have happened recently. I'm not sure Bella should come back on, but some things happened recently in the news. So today we usually talk from a teen perspective, and we share tips and tools and things like that that really are geared towards our teen audiences. Mm-hmm. She's back, y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jordan, with that, we just want to say thank you so much for coming back to have this conversation.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Inviting me.
Absolutely.
Nope. She frozen.
She'll melt soon.
Mama? All right. Our Wi-Fi is apparently not doing great. So she will be back in a second.
We're having technical, but we are.
While she was gone, I guess I will take the reins. I don't know if y'all already said this, but our first question is very basic. It is just, what do you do?
Oh, awesome. So I'm Jordan again. I think Shelly is back. Is she? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think you're a little. It's a little bit relaxed.
It's a little choppy.
Yeah.
You guys keep back.
All right.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question again?
What do you do?
Oh, okay. I'm a meditation teacher. So meditation is the center of my career. I partner with school places or school districts and workplaces to amplify well-being. So with schools, I go into classrooms, primarily with middle school students in Berkeley and in Antioch, which is in the Bay Area. And I teach dynamic mindfulness tools to support students in really just better navigating stress and help them establish healthy relationships and just become more self-aware. So meditation, to put it simply, is what I do.
That sounds like the coolest job ever, bro.
It is pretty cool. I like what I do a lot. I think my life is pretty nice.
Well, our second question for you is, why are you so passionate about mental health?
I'm passionate about mental health because, I'm passionate about meditation because I feel like it saved my life, honestly. I started practicing when I was a teenager, and I was dealing with just low self-esteem, a lot of confusion around identity. And I feel like it gave me a lot of the affirmation and clarity that my peers and the people around me weren't able to. So it's really special to kind of now be able to give that back to teenagers, as my job. So yeah, that's why I'm really passionate about it, because I know how much it transformed me.
I think that is amazing, especially because teenage years are some of the hardest of your life. There's just so much, especially in middle school. There's just so much going on.
You're in it, so I feel.
Yeah, there's so much drama, so much just everything, and I think it's really important to be able to sit back and just be in yourself.
Yeah.
And just like think about yourself and how you're doing and what you can do to help yourself be better,
Yeah.
especially if you're in a low point of your life. Yeah, but I think that's I think that's really great. Can you explain what you know about common mental health issues among teens, and are there common trends with teens versus adults?
Common trends. I think all of us are just really big kids, so I think there's pretty common themes like across the board. But I think like as a teenager and as I kind of witness when I go into schools, I think a lot of teenagers deal with low self-esteem, just as adults do. I think it's really amplified in middle school though, because like for one, like your body and your brain are literally going through a lot of changes. And at that age, your brain is more sensitive than it'll ever be, like as a teenager. So you really have this desire to make friends, to fit in, to be in community. And while at the same time, you're really still figuring out who you even are. So I think just issues of low self-esteem um, is typically like the biggest thing that I notice. And I think low self-esteem can lead to anxiety, can lead to like feelings of depression. But I think the root of it is really, yeah, self-esteem. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. As most of y'all know, I have struggled with mental health issues in the past, and I think once I like learned to love myself more, everything just kind of fell in line, and I began to like things that were worrying me and things that were causing me to feel like to not feel great about myself
Mm.
and to truly not want to be alive, like things outside of myself that were causing me to feel that way. Once I realized that I am enough and I'm
Mm.
worth like my life is worth living, and that like
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine just the way I am. I think I stopped like really caring about what other
Mhm.
people thought of me, because in the end, my thought of myself is the most important thing, because
Yeah.
that's the thing, that's what's going to stay in my head. That's what's always going to be there. You can forget about people in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much life ahead, and just trying to get rid of first of all the people that are trying to hurt you, and getting rid of their ability to do so is really important in middle school, because it'll help you like live your life better if you learn to love yourself at a young age.
Yeah. Let me just
Wow,
say, you're super
powerful.
good. You just taught me a lot. But
Me.
what was your process? Like, how did you kind of arrive to that point? Just you're only in 8th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I was struggling with self-esteem like in elementary school. I didn't feel great about myself for the first half of my life, which it's not that much when you think about it, but like still that's a long time for a 14-year-old, you know? And when I hit 6th grade, when I got into middle school, we were in the middle of COVID. I was like at home, we were in quarantine, I was doing school at home, and being sheltered kind of let me just think about myself more, and it just didn't make me feel good, because I was there was nothing to distract me from my thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of just brought me so far down that I was thinking, oh, like if I died today, no one would care, and I would convince myself, I would give myself reasons why no one would care. Oh, they think I'm annoying because I do this, that, and the third. And it got to the point where I was like, this, like, I'm like, no one's gonna care, right? And then I got out of 6th grade. I graduated 6th grade. It was summer, I was happy, and then we got back to school. 7th grade was honestly really bad. I had a lot of toxic friendships, and a lot of people that weren't nice to me, and who were constantly trying to speak bad on me, speaking about my body, about my looks, about my personality, speaking badly about me and my friends who didn't really like me. They didn't care for me. They didn't treat me like friends did. And it got to the point where I was like, I wanted to die. Like, I didn't want to be alive, and I didn't want to be alive, and I would hurt myself over little things. And I just, like, it got really, really bad. And then I was getting body shamed constantly, to the point where I almost developed an eating disorder, where I would not eat breakfast and lunch, and I would only eat dinner, and dinner would be at like 1 a.m. So it was really, because there was no one there to tell me, like, hey, you don't need to do this. And I was not strong enough to do that for myself. And I realized that, like, I think over the summer, I realized that I don't need someone to be there to, like, tell me these things, because I'm always going to be there for myself.
Yeah, because you're there. Yeah.
And people, I have friends come and go. You know, people are only in your life for a specific amount of time. Even if it's your entire life, they're only in your life for a specific amount of time. And I learned that I don't always need to have people in my circle. I don't always need to have people around me to feel good about myself, because if I believe that I am good enough, that I am beautiful, that I am worth living, then no one else can tell me what to do. No one else can tell me, oh, you shouldn't be alive, you should get skinnier, you don't look good enough, you're not good enough. Like, there's no one can tell me that, because I don't believe it.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
If I don't believe it, then it doesn't matter, because I'm going to forget it, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to become way more successful than the people who tried to bully me in 8th grade.
Yeah, and you are successful now, because earlier you had mentioned I am enough, and like that alone, like really believing that, really embodying that, even at this age, that's just gonna, it's really, can't even put words to it, that like you already are a success. And I'm sorry you had to go through all of that, but I'm happy to hear that it sounds like you're really rooted in like your worthiness. It's so young. So it's unfortunate, you know, but I think it's beautiful, like what you blossom into. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
That was a little tangent there. Sorry. Our next. Oh.
Shelly, still are struggling to hear you a little bit.
I'll come.
Maybe sit with Isabella. Maybe.
Yeah. Mama, just come down here and pull up a chair.
Because she's pretty.
I promise I don't bite. You can come down here. I'm like 50 feet away. She's not coming down, y'all. All right. Well, our next question is what is it? There we go. Teens and young children are experiencing increased stress, anxiety, and sadness, or other mental health concerns, but many feel like they're alone. What kind of self-care strategies can we use to help combat that?
Like from feeling alone?
Yeah.
I think you really have to arrive to the point that you're not alone, that you're with you, and really kind of come home and create a comfortable relationship with you. So for me, it came through affirmation and through writing. Like that really helped me, because some people may not be that fond of affirmations or feel like it's that natural. But the fact of the matter is, we're always affirming things like 24 hours a day. Every thought we think is an affirmation. So when we consciously do it, we're able to kind of direct it in a more intentional way. And we create a safe environment for us to live in, for us to be with, because we're always with our thoughts. So that's why I say we're never alone. So just making sure our thoughts are a friendly place, I think that's the first step in really creating a home for yourself, regardless of what your home life may look like around you. So yeah, I think the first step is really affirmation. Yeah. And that might be translated to prayer, based on like the tradition you come from, but I look at those things as one and the same. Yeah.
Period. I mean, bars on bars, y'all.
All right, can you hear me? Okay.
You're very clear now. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Person.
Apology for the technical difficulties. I was actually going to say, like, you actually shared an affirmation earlier when you were saying enough. That's
an affirmation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an example. But yeah, prayer can be saying that you're worthy, but you have to believe it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to actually believe the things that you're saying, that this is what's true about me. So one of the things that I usually share with other people, and also with Bella, I am so stubborn in believing these great things about me that it really doesn't matter if someone says something negative about me. I'm so grounded in who I am, and that I'm worthy and I deserve to be here. And I think, Bella, that hopefully that is some of what you pick up, and that some of that confidence is translated to how you out living out your life. So I am enough. I am worthy. By the way, y'all, go on Jordan's website. We'll drop the link, because he also does have examples of affirmations. So you don't have to make stuff up if you don't know what to say. There's, we also have books that have affirmations for kids as well. So, I just want to chime in that I'm enough was a powerful affirmation that was called out earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, period. Like, this is why we have him on, y'all. Like, y'all need to understand this. Can you give some tips on how teens can develop healthy relationships?
Healthy relationships? Again, I think it kind of starts with you. So really developing a healthy relationship with yourself, because you can't treat anybody beyond how you know how to treat yourself. Like, you have to kind of fill your cup first. So if you're always kind of giving yourself negative self-talk, if you're bringing yourself down, eventually that's going to bleed over into any relationship that you try to establish. Even if it's not early on, eventually it's going to come out. And because I think the way you treat others is really just a reflection of your own thoughts and how you treat yourself. So I think, again, it boils back down to like creating a safe space for you, and you becoming a good friend to your mind and your body and your being. And I think like that's the most important relationship. And once that's set, like, you don't even have to worry about making friends. Like, people will want to be around you, and you will attract people who are actually going to support you, kind of staying in that aligned place, and you'll be able to support them and also staying in alignment. So again, just kind of really realizing that you and the relationship you have with your mind is the most important. And then from there, everything else is just easy. Yeah, I wish I knew that when I was a teenager, because I think naturally as a teen, like, we're very outward focused.
Yeah.
Because we want to make friends, we want to fit in, which is valid in a way, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think we have to make sure we feel included within ourselves, that we feel like we fit in within our own mind, that we admire ourselves first, and then from there, it'll be easy.
I completely agree. There have been a lot of friendships, especially very recently, that have kind of just dwindled off for multiple different reasons. But I learned that if something ends, there's a reason. And if I did something wrong, and I don't know, tell me. And if I didn't do anything wrong, and you just didn't want to be my friend for XYZ reasons, then that's perfect. That's your journey. Those are your thoughts. Those are your opinions. But at the end of the day, that unless I did something to you in which I need to apologize for, like, how do I put this? when friendships end, pretty much, I'm not gonna try to dwell on it, because God put that person in my life for a specific amount of time, and when that time is up, I will thank them for everything they've done for me, and I'll thank them for the time that we have had together and all the good memories. But I'm not gonna dwell on the past, because then I can't look at the future if I'm stuck on my old friends.
Ooh, yeah, that's
because
deep.
I'm going to high school. I'm gonna be in high school in 4 months. I'm not gonna try to dwell on middle school friendships, because if they supported me, they provided for me in many different ways. But it's over, and it's okay, because we can both move on, and we can both have other friends, and we can both live better lives, and not have to not have to dwell on it, because it already ended, and God does it. Everything happens for a reason, even when it seems like why would God put this person in my life just to take them away? Why would he do this to me? Why? Because in the end, that's what's going to help you become as successful as you can be. Because if you stayed with that friend, you're not gonna be able to get into the best college, because they're gonna ask you, they're gonna tell you not to, or they're gonna want you
better
to
friend on the way.
Yeah. But I think dwelling on the past isn't healthy. Having good memories and using your past experiences to help propel your future is very important. And I think forgetting the past is not. Don't forget about the past, but don't live your entire life for something that's already happened, or because of something that's already happened, because
powerful,
it's already happened. It's done.
Yeah.
And you can't go back in time and fix it unless
really
someone
remaining
created
in
a
the
time
present.
machine.
Yeah.
Just living in the future, or not living in the present, so you're able to move on to the future.
I feel like we should be interviewing you.
I know. I'm like, wow. There's grown-ups I know that need this kind of advice.
Yeah.
Let stuff go, or they can't let people go when it's over. We used to have these secret burn paper parties, me and Bella. Like we would tease people, so when she would be for a friendship, we'd write the name down of the person on a piece of paper, and she would say goodbye and thank them for being in her life. We'd set that sucker on fire and let it go. It was such a good release. It's something that helps you kind of, because there'd be really like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I'm ghosted. Like, oh, honey, let's burn that.
Yeah.
Let it go, so that you can replace that relationship with something's new, whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
But this thing about knowing when to let go is something that's really important. But honestly, there are adults that don't have this level of wisdom either. So y'all, I'm soaking this one in for myself.
Wow. I know some of those people. Some of these adults don't like me. It's okay.
Don't like you.
It's okay. I don't like them either. What would you? This is a serious one, y'all. So if you're not ready for serious, if you don't want something that's serious, go ahead and log off. What would you say to parents who are in fear of sending kids to school, and what would you say to kids who are afraid of going to school?
First, I would say because what's on my mind is what just happened in Nashville.
Yeah.
And what's happened in numerous other states and numerous other schools. I would say first, I think the fear is a valid emotion. So I honestly would create space for it, and I will honor it, and I wouldn't try to suppress it. I wouldn't try to ignore it. I would fully be with it and realize that it's valid to feel afraid. It's valid to feel worried. It's okay to be a little anxious about your safety. But I would kind of come back home and root myself in practices like meditation, like breath work, like journaling. And the purpose of these different mental fitness practices is not necessarily to poof, I'm not scared no more all of a sudden. But it's kind of like in life, we have low moments of like strong fear, strong anxiety, strong depression. And we have like really high moments of just bliss and euphoria and happiness and serenity. And I think the purpose of meditation is not to yank yourself up from this low point to this high point, or to get at this high point and like never come down. Is to be able to navigate all of your emotions with a sense of connection, but detachment as well. So I would still root in your practices like prayer, like meditation, like writing, and I wouldn't let a moment of fear interrupt it. I would kind of like same programming, like if you already on that program, because we can't control a lot of things that surround us. So I don't want to pretend like meditation or like journaling or mindfulness is going to magically make all the school shootings go away, but it can allow us to navigate through the cycle of our emotions with a consistent sense of ease, like without condition of what's happening around us. That would be my advice. Yeah. Yeah.
I completely agree. And for parents who are worried about sending your children to school, they have been training us. I remember when I was in like first, second grade,
That's crazy.
they've been like teaching us like things to do when there are intruders, and we have they give it. There are drills, I think once a month, where we have intruder drills where they'll have to shut down all the classrooms. The windows are closed, the doors are locked. They have like blackout
That's so
things.
crazy. I didn't have that, but it just tells how like times have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I also want to say this too. Like, I think, like, so my lane is meditation, and like that's how I help. But of course, there are many lanes to like activate change, like through politics, through education. But I think like we have to create a field of mental clarity within us for us then to be able to take the appropriate action. Because maybe the appropriate action for you is homeschooling your kid. You know what I mean? To be honest, like, so I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Or send them to another school. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I think you have to at least bring yourself out of a survival mode of fear through a somatic practice like meditation to then be able to make an aligned decision. So yeah, I just wanted to add that part in there.
A great point.
Yeah.
just yeah. For me and like me oh my god, I can't talk. Me specifically, some things that really like help me to like calm down my nerves and my like fear and stuff like that is definitely listening to music. Y'all know I'm a singer. I love singing. Like listening to music, singing, writing music, writing poetry. Like those are.
Who's your favorite artist? I'm just curious because I'm big on music too. As you can see, I have records.
I have a lot right now. Like literally today, I like just started listening to J. Cole because I've been meaning to like start listening to
him in middle school. That's when I started listening to J. Cole. So that's funny.
I've been like meaning to start listening to him because he's like really good, but I like put it off. So we're just playing every single song. But like I don't have a favorite because everyone's just so good in their own little way, and I'm a chorus nerd, so I will point out little details about every artist that I love.
Parts, yeah.
Most of y'all know that I'm a chorus nerd. I am. I've been in chorus for 4 years. And I just got into the most advanced chorus at my high school for next year.
Yeah, congrats.
So I'm really happy about that. And I did. I was just at All-State chorus, which was crazy because I was the only. There were 2 of us that got in out of 9 that auditioned at our school. And I was one of the 2, so it was amazing.
That's cool, yeah.
Oh, as in like the whole
entire all of Georgia.
All of Georgia.
Heard about it. It was crazy. There's so many people. Oh my god. But yeah, music is a very, very soothing thing for me. Even if it's not like considered soothing music, I will listen to music. I will listen to
all like therapeutic though, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like being able to let out your emotions, no matter what they are. Don't keep them bottled up. Because if you fill something up, if you get a glass cup, you fill it all the way up to the brim. One little drop will cause the entire thing to spill over.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen.
Because I feel like music was my first like tool that I used to heal as a teenager. And I was like, I'm still big on hip hop music, like trap music, like heavy stuff. Like some people be surprised, like you teach meditation, you listen to this. Like, but like even when I was in middle school, my dad would be like, why are you listening to this? Like this is so negative, this is this and that. I just feel like parents, like, you should, of course, like you should care what your kids are listening to, but music can be a very healthy way for them to exercise like very tough emotions, whether it's anger or depression or sadness. So I really would not mute like that desire in your kids to listen to what may be seen as vulgar music. Of course, like you have to use your own discernment with that.
Yeah.
But I know that really helped me a lot.
Yeah. I gave up rap. I used
So
to.
what?
I gave up.
She tried.
Oh yeah, you really kind of can't either because it's like with the internet now, really
Hard. I'm like, oh wait, what'd you say?
Yeah. I remember that too. We would be in the car and she'd like turn to one of the channels. She'd be like, Bella, my trap music's on. Be quiet, my trap music's on. I was like, Mom. Because I was like 10, maybe 9. And she was just in the car listening to trap. And I was like, what are you doing?
She put you onto it.
It was kind of scary.
Right.
She knew.
Prayer.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Well, let's see. Do I have another question? I think I do. Let us see. We're looking. Do I? Do I? Oh.
Yeah, take your time.
And what's your other question?
Let's see.
A natural one that has come up.
Or
if you just have one that has come up naturally, even if it's not written down.
True. Yeah, my brain is kind of dead. I have been at school all day and I have to go in early, so I'm not really here. Let's see. What were some of the struggles that you had when you were in middle school?
It was really like not fitting in. Like as a kid, I mean, even still now, I'm like very like introverted, very calm, very quiet, like very, very sensitive. Like I'm an empath, like I'm super sensitive, which is like a superpower, to be honest, because like I'm very intuitive because of that. And that allows me to do what I do now. But I didn't understand that superpower at a young age. And I grew up in a very Black community. So like my personality type was not necessarily celebrated in terms of like really like what it means to be like a Black masculine man. So that was really hard on me, like as a young kid. Like I felt like I wasn't tough enough. I wasn't like this like model of what a man should be. I was like really like this bull crap, like to be honest. But it really affected me like a lot as a young kid. And I feel like that probably was like one of the biggest like struggles for me in middle school, early high school. And then later, like it's kind of cool to be who I am now, like as I get older, you know what I mean? So it kind of has shown me like you can't really ever cater to what seems cool, like where you at. Especially now I've lived in California, like I feel like it's very culturally based, like what it means to be masculine, even depending where you are. You know what I mean? Because dudes out here wear fingernail polish, and some people wear like it's just like all type of stuff that's different. And like I just like to kind of like sum it up even beyond like masculinity, just like the standard, whether it's the standard of beauty, the standard of what it means to be a woman or a man or professional, it's always changing. It's not like a fixed thing anyway. So if you're trying to adjust to what the standard is, like it's always moving, and everybody's standard is different. So you end up pleasing no one, and then you don't even end up pleasing yourself, because when you're always trying to adapt or mold to somebody else's like ideal perception, like what about what you want to be? You know what I mean? So middle school, that was my biggest struggle, like really trying to like maybe morph myself or adapt myself based on who I was around. But as I got older, like post high school, I was like, I want to like I want what I want, and I want to be
Right.
who I want to be, and like my expression is enough. And like really coming home to that, has just shifted like my whole mode, like my whole worldview has really attracted like beautiful people into my life, that really celebrate me, and it's also allowed me to step fully into like this career of meditation, because like in this I'm supposed to be sensitive, like I'm supposed to be super empathic, I'm supposed to be intuitive, I'm supposed to be like quiet in a way, you know what I mean? So I'm supposed to be this very gentle person, and that's yielded a lot of abundance for me. And if I was muting that in any way, I probably would be like mediocre at something else, because that's not what I was created to be like. Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Oh, we're like,
I think I live in the suburbs, man. I'm not around a bunch of Black people. So I think growing up, that was the biggest struggle for me, like feeling like obviously feeling like I didn't fit in, because I felt like I wasn't Black enough for some people, but I wasn't white enough for other people. And it was just like this weird push and pull. But I eventually realized, like, I have friends in a bunch of different friend groups, and like from a bunch of different cultures, bunch of different backgrounds, and I think it's so much fun because I get to learn new things about other people's cultures like every day.
Yeah,
And
I get
like,
what you're saying too, but like if we even take a step back, like what does it even mean to be Black? Because that means something different in Georgia. It means like if you go to Nigeria, or if you come, even if you come to California, or if you go somewhere in New York, like the culture is different. So again, it's always moving. So it's like it's really making those definitions like for you, like
yeah. There's honestly there's like no real meaning.
It's not a real thing.
It's
I mean,
not,
like of course you know we're Black, but like what it even means or like what it's supposed to look like, that's a fluid thing.
Like I can't change my skin color. I don't want to. There's really no point. And I love my culture, and I love where I'm from. I love where my family's from. And like there's no such thing as being too Black or being not Black enough, because everyone is themselves. And if people can't handle how they express themselves and how they express their culture, then that's everybody else's issue.
Yeah.
You know, that's not mine, because if you don't think that I'm Black enough for your friend group, well, then then I don't want to be your friend, because if you can't like accept me for who I am and accept that this is just how I live in the suburbs, like what do you want? What do you want me to do? Like, I can't, I'm not going to change for anyone else just because they like, if they want to be my friend, you're going to have to like my personality. Like, don't be my friend just because I'm Black.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not going to be anyone's token Black friend, because I'm so much more than my skin color, and I'm so much more than my race and my ethnicity and my nationality. I'm so much more than everything else, because I have like an actual personality.
Yeah, and when we label ourselves, we can limit ourselves so much, because a lot of these labels, it's just like, of course we know we're Black, but the things we associate with that is it's not like fact based. Like how we're supposed to act because of that. It's not based on real things. You know, it's based on somebody else's standard or opinion of what of how it should be expressed.
I think standards change for everything every single day.
Yeah.
There's always something. Oh, you have to do this to be more ladylike. Oh, you have to do this to be more masculine. No, at the end of the day, we all live, we all breathe, we all have fun, and then we all die.
Mm.
And when the lights are off, we are all the same. We all look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like outside of our hair and our skin, it's the same skeleton.
Yeah.
It's the same organs. There's nothing is really gonna matter in the end, because if we're still caring when we're in our 90s about whether or not we were black enough when we were 14 to people who we don't even remember anymore, what was the point of living for those 76 years? Did I think I did that right. Wait. I did that. I think I did.
I think you did.
Yeah, I can do math, y'all. But yeah, I think, yeah.
I appreciate this. Has been such an amazing conversation. I'm really so grateful again, Jordan, to have you come on. And Bella, I'm also grateful for you being open and honest. And like I said, we do these talks because it's not just for us having a conversation between the three of us. It is for other people to get help or get some inspiration or some encouragement, whether it's a teen or a parent of a teen, an auntie of a teen, a cousin, or whatever, right?
Right.
So, so I hope that everyone who's watching the replay, y'all go back and catch the full episode. I apologize again for the technical difficulties, but it was more important for Isabella and Jordan to have this conversation. I'm just a prop. Okay. I'm just a in the background. Y'all don't worry about me. So we're gonna make sure that we float this out again on social media, because we want to make sure that everyone has access to it. And I think in another week or so, we'll make sure it goes up on Spotify, Apple podcast channels as well. The audio will be available. All can hear what's happening here. So we're just gonna thank you so much, Jordan, for your time. We honor you. We honor what you respect you. Absolutely. You're now, whether you like it or not, a member of this family.
I like it. It's all good.
So you need to let me know what's going on. That just went full on mama. Let me know what's going on and where you at. Thank you so much, Bella. I'll turn it over for you to say goodbye, and then I will switch out the.
All right. Well, before we get off, I don't want to keep y'all for too long. We would just like to say we are praying for the families of the lives lost in the Nashville school shooting. And we are praying that all of y'all stay safe, especially if you have kids that are in schools. We are praying for y'all. You are in our hearts, our minds, and our spirits. We love all of y'all so much. If you ever need to talk, I am here. I promise I'm a good listener. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. We love all of y'all. Please remember to like and share and tell your friends. And thank you so much for being here. We love all of y'all, and good night.
All right. Jordan, hang out in the back room for a little bit, and we're going to say peace to everybody. Thank y'all.
Peace out.